Hello everyone, this is part 30 of What If Naruto Figured It All Out, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Join my membership, the perks are great. It's in the description. Minato was running through the forest, with Frigg on his back. Anxiousness took care of him, while he desperately tried to reach the castle of his ancestors. You lived in a castle? Frigg asked. Minato decided to answer, as a way to calm down. Yes, according to Kageru, my family lived in there for centuries. Minato explained. I was born in there, but the only thing I have in my memories is the huge cherry tree's garden. Frigg noticed he continued very nervous. Is anyone living there? She asked. Only Kageru. We were the only survivors of a huge fire. Minato said. Frigg held him tightly. Fear not. I will protect you. Plus, you are not going to S in here, isn't that right? Frigg remembered her forecast regarding her death. Once you're not going to S, both of us have nothing to fear. You will be alive tomorrow, happens what it happens. You're right, she said. Minato jumped high and saw the castle. Frigg was amazed. Amazing. That castle is huge. It must have taken centuries to build. Minato was also amazed. He knew the castle was big, but he never thought it would be that big. The two stopped in front of the castle's gate. It had two dragons stamped in high relief. Minato was about to put his hands on it, but Frigg screamed. He looked to her. There are 3 explosive tags behind the gate. If you opened, Minato looked to her and smiled. Don't worry. Minato made some hand seals. There was an explosion from the inside. Frigg screamed scared. Minato waited a little and opened the gate. The cherry trees continued in the garden, just like Minato remembered. Frigg was amazed again. So, how many people are inside the castle, besides Kageru? 6. They were 7, but Kageru K1. Frigg said. Minato continued moving forward to the castle. Frigg was behind him, holding his coat. Minato noticed she was shivering. There are 10 explosive tags on the front door and in the windows from the lower floors. Frigg said. Minato was surprised with Frigg's capacities. Why haven't you become a ninja? Minato asked. Frigg looked to him and then down. I never wanted to, she said. I always loved to dress myself with beautiful clothes and show them to the others. It made me feel alive. Minato smiled, getting closer to the front door. With your foreseeing abilities, you could have become even better than Surin. Minato said. Frigg blushed. Few were the Skuld who have become ninjas, but the ones who did so, were even better than some of the Tsukikages defending them. Frigg told. Minato looked to the door and then to Frigg. Where are they? He asked. She looked to him. I have no time to take all the explosive tags. Please, tell me. 3 are waiting on the 5th floor, 2 on the 7th and Kageru is with the last on in the last floor. Frigg said. Who are they? Do you know them? Minato asked. Frigg looked down. Uchiha clan, she said. Minato's eyes opened wide. Uchiha clan, Minato said and became even angrier. What do they want now? Why haven't you told me? Tears appeared in Frigg's eyes. Because I wanted Phoenix-san to marry with Kageru-san, and I thought he had entered the castle to take her to his house so they could, Frigg cried. Phoenix, Minato thought and then looked to Frigg, who continued speaking. So they could live happily ever after and have kids and then s very old together in the same bed and arguing about something stupid like the place of the pot in the window. Frigg cried, cleaning her tears. Minato looked dumbfounded to her. You know, Kushina, you're a sentimental stupid, Minato said. She cried more. I can't help it. I love romantic stories, she cried. Minato grabbed her and put her on his back. Hold on tight, he said and threw one of his odd-shaped kunais to one of the 5th floor windows. When Frigg opened her eyes, she was already inside of the castle. Oh, you teleported, she exclaimed, but Minato put his hand in front of her mouth. We are talking about the Uchiha clan. Minato warned. Don't look at their eyes. Minato gave her one of his kunais. Throw this if they come for you. Minato left her near the window and started walking. He stopped, closed his eyes and put his finger on the ground. I see. Minato grabbed 3 kunais and threw them away. Frigg just saw Minato going away and then appearing from another door, right after some screams, with drops of B on his face. Frigg smiled and ran to him. That was amazing, she said. Minato stared her and held her tightly. 7th floor you say. Let's go. Minato started running. In the last floor, the full moon's bright was already shining over Phoenix and Kageru. Both were hugging each other and sleeping, until they heard the screams. Phoenix groaned and raised his head. He's here, already. How have he found out? I was only going to send him a message in the morning. Crap, Phoenix said and yawned. He sat on the bed and picked his shirt, dressing it. Knowing Hokage-sama, like I know, I'm more than sure that he will reach this floor in less than a minute. The Uchiha looked aside to Kageru. Even after sleeping, she appeared to continue being under a genjutsu. He K her and then got up. Well, all the hours are good to become immortal. Kageru tried to get out of the genjutsu, but it was useless. Don't force yourself, my love. Only another Uchiha can break that genjutsu. I'm going to make it quickly, so your dear Minato won't suffer. Phoenix K her again. Wish me good luck. Minato-sama will K you. Kageru whispered. Phoenix caressed her face. We will see. Phoenix said and left to the hall, closing the door. Kageru continued on the bed. I need to be. She tried to get her fingers, but due to the genjutsu, she bite everything, except her skin. She said with the feathers from the pillow on her mouth. Minato was on the 7th floor. Explosive tags were all over the place. Frigg was grabbing Minato tightly, completely scared. How are we going to pass? There are tags even in the floor. Frigg cried. Minato threw another kunai and the two were already on the other side of the corridor. Take cover, Minato said, covering Frigg. All the tags exploded. Frigg screamed again. After the explosion, the two looked to the corridor. What? Frigg looked to him and then back to the corridor. After such an explosion, how could the walls escape without a scratch? Minato-san. Behind you. Frigg screamed. Minato grabbed her and used a kunai to defend himself against the Uchiha who appeared behind him. Frigg was really scared. You really live your name, Yondaime. The Uchiha said. Minato smiled. Pity you won't live yours any longer. Minato said. He took a deep breath and blew all the air in his mouth against the Uchiha. This one was see into tiny pieces. Frigg covered her eyes. Minato looked to her, who was crying a lot. You really are not used to this kind of situation. She leaned her head on his sea. The other one is 3 chambers ahead, in the left side. She cried. Minato caressed her head. Let's finish this quickly, then. Minato held her again and ran. It's not necessary to tell that Minato finished up the other Uchiha quickly and managed out to escape all the explosive tags, many thanks to Frigg's foreseeing abilities. They continued running and they were now on the stairs that lead to the 10th floor. Minato looked there and then to Frigg. It's better for you to wait here, while I fight with Phoenix. The woman grabbed Minato. For some reason, Kushina. Minato called. She looked to him. No future telling. Frigg looked down. Minato started climbing the stairs slowly. When he reached the wall, Phoenix was leaned on the chamber's door, smiling to him. Minato stared him angrily. You've come, Phoenix said, with an evil smile. Minato continued staring him. The Uchiha showed his Sharingan. I'm going to K you. I K Kageru because I knew you would come to rescue her, so, the faster we get this done, the better. Minato closed his eyes and took out some kunais. Those are the kunais Obito told me about, Phoenix remembered. Minato uses them to teleport and uses his signature technique. I wonder, how will he start? Phoenix continued looking to him. Minato started focusing his chakra on his kunais. He threw them to the walls and then ran to Phoenix, trying to hit him with his feet. Phoenix avoided the attack, but felt his skin being sea. Wind manipulation, Phoenix said. Minato continued moving and trying to kick Phoenix with his feet and then with his hands. They kicked and punched each other for a long time. Some hits they were able to avoid, but others, they got right away. The Uchiha was able to see the ranch of Minato's wind chakra thanks to his Sharingan. Phoenix focused his chakra on his mouth. Kaiten. Gukakyo no Jutsu. Minato listened and opened his eyes to escape the attack. The Hokage's wind chakra was burned away. Minato landed on the ground. Phoenix smiled. Your wind chakra is weak against my fire chakra. Minato didn't appear to be worried and closed his eyes again. Calm down, Minato. The Hokage thought. He is an Uchiha, as forward, he fights like one. Try to remember the Uchiha skills, Genjutsu and Taijutsu and fire manipulation. Minato heard Phoenix running to him. The man defended himself with one of his kunais and then tried to el Phoenix, but this one jumped. Kageru, she blinded the Uchiha Lord, that's it. Phoenix. Minato started focusing his chakra on his right hand. Phoenix looked to him and watched the jutsu with his Sharingan. A jutsu without seals. The Uchiha thought. The chakra took the shape of a ball. It was all swirling around. Minato opened his eyes and ran to Phoenix. This is my chance. Both thought. Rasengan. Minato screamed and fired the jutsu. Phoenix disappeared and the wall continued intact. He ran away. How? Minato closed his eyes and tried to sense his presence. I'm going to kill you for sure, Minato. Phoenix's voice resounded. Minato opened his eyes. Then, I'm going to bath myself in your bee. Minato's eyes opened wide. You don't know, do you? You are special. Minato looked to the kunais he threw on the begging of the battle and then looked up. I wonder how the councillors approved your nomination, Minato. I've waited for so long. Minato smiled. And you will keep waiting. Minato said and jumped, punching Phoenix's belly. The Uchiha cough out some bee. This one is for every tear you made Kageru shear. Minato threw him to the ground and jumped to him, kicking his back. Phoenix caught more bee. This one is for all the things you should have done to save her. How have you found me? Phoenix asked, looking to the Hokage. Minato stepped him in the face. Do you really think I'm going to tell you? Minato said, grabbed him by the neckband and pulled him up. Why do you want to kill me? Bathing in my bee. Is that some kind of bet? Tell me, Phoenix, do you have something against me, or is it against Konoha? Answer me. Phoenix laughed quietly. Minato looked to him. Against Konoha. Maybe, Phoenix said. Minato felt even angrier and punched him. Although, you have something I want. Phoenix looked into Minato's eyes. Your insanity ends today, Phoenix. Minato said and sa kunai in Phoenix's heart. The Uchiha pained and then smiled, while lots of bee was coming out from his mouth. He looked aside. Minato stranged and followed him with the eyes. The Hokage's eyes opened wide. I found this downstairs, I hope you don't mind. Phoenix said. The one on Minato's hands disappeared. Phoenix was holding Frigg, covering her mouth with one hand and pointing a kunai to her end with the other. The Skald was crying a lot, very scared. Minato glared at him. Phoenix smiled. Your housemaid is very pretty. Phoenix put his face near hers. She smells so sweet. I was wondering why you have brought your maid in here. Maybe you wanted to get rid of her. Let Kushina go. Minato ordered. She has made you no harm. Frigg continued crying. Phoenix pulled her to him. Minato's look, could it be? Phoenix thought. If I made him angry, he will lose focus and it will be easier for him to leave an opening, and when he does that, the Uchiha put the kunai on the mouth and focused his chakra on the fingers. These became hot and he scratched Frigg's legs with them. The woman screamed. Kushina. Minato screamed. Minato started making hand seals and was about to fill his lungs with air, but Phoenix moved his finger, on fire, near Frigg's face. If you blow, your wind will be consumed by my flames and your cute friend will be burned too. Phoenix said. Minato smiled and blew. What? Phoenix was caught by surprise and ran away, with Frigg on his hands. Minato continued looking to him and started throwing some kunais at him. All of them made a huge explosion when touching the walls, due to the wind chakra they had inserted. Why is he attacking us? Doesn't he fear to kill this woman? Phoenix looked to Frigg, who continued crying. Although, I'm not here to lose either, Minato-chan. Found you. Minato said and punched Phoenix. The Uchiha fell on the ground. Minato grabbed Frigg. Are you okay? She hugged Minato, crying. Thank you, she said. Minato smiled. She looked to him, while he caressed her face. Be more careful next time, okay? Minato said. She smiled and hugged him once again. Minato, she said. He found it strange. You're really a stupid after all. Minato's eyes opened wide. Frigg was him. He gazed her deeply in the eyes. Frigg's eyes turned Sharingan and then changed to a kaleidoscope shape. Phoenix disappeared. Frigg forced Minato into the ground. The Hokage started to feel dizzy. Frigg turned back into Phoenix. Minato was lying on the ground looking to him. Phoenix victoriously smiled. Now, let's us experiment my Mangekyo Sharingan, Hokage-sama. Man Mangekyo, Minato started drooling. His eyes lost its bright. Phoenix was holding Minato's hands against the ground and sat over his belly. Minato started feeling a huge pain. He really took a long time to defeat. Phoenix said, coming from the stairs, holding Frigg. The woman had her eyes red from crying. Well, Phoenix looked to her. I'm going to hold you here a little bit more while the real me over there came Minato. Minato-san, Frigg cried. Minato continued struggling to get out of the genjutsu, but Phoenix continued putting him under his illusions over and over again, causing the Hokages a never-ending mental stress. Minato started breathing hard, sweating a lot. His body started shaking and he bled from his mouth. Your weakness, genjutsu, Phoenix said. Minato struggled once again, while making the effort. You are very strong. Much more than what I was expecting. To fight so many illusions made by my Mangekyo Sharingan, you really are. Minato-san. Get up. Frigg screamed. The two Phoenix looked to her. You're stronger than him. Please. Minato-san. You have Konoha to look over. Shut up, you bee. Phoenix punched Frigg's face. She cried more, while her bee was falling on the ground. Konoha, Minato whispered. Phoenix looked him. They need me. You really are a Hokage. The Uchiha said. But tomorrow, they will be choosing a Godime. Minato continued shivering. Let's finish this. Phoenix turned Minato and took out his Hokage's coat and shinobi vest, pulling his shirt up. Now. Stop. Don't kill Minato-san. Frigg screamed hysterically. Please. Spare Minato-san. Phoenix evilly smiled. Minato-san, Frigg thought. He was with me all this time. She remembered when they first met. This is Namika's Minato, Konoha's Yellow Flash, and the man who is going to look over you. I remember, Minato-san, even with all my childish desires, you were always patient with me. She remembered when she made Minato eat all that horrible food and when she made his clothes shrunk after the wash. You were always there. Every time I felt lonely, you cheered me up. Minato's smile appeared on her memories. Every day, when my eyes crossed yours, I felt happy, I really did. You had patience and you complimented me every time I improved. For the first time in my life, I felt useful, I felt a real person and not just a doll. Minato-san, Frigg remembered when Minato killed her. Frigg looked back to Minato. Tears fell from her eyes. I love you. I can't let you s. Now I understand, I've always loved you. Frigg remembered all the moments she shared with Minato. I'm so stupid, how couldn't I've noticed? I'm deeply in love with you. That's why, she took out the kunai Minato gave to him. I will fight for the things I love the most, just like you always do, Minato. She closed her eyes and threw the kunai to the real Phoenix. This one was caught by surprise, although he didn't dodge it in time. He screamed. My eye! Phoenix had bee on his face, while his hand was cleaning it. I can't see from my left eye. Phoenix looked angry to her. His pain was so huge that his cage bunchen disappeared. Frigg fell on the ground. The Uchiha got up, grabbing a kunai. I guess I'm going to kill you first, little maiden. Frigg looked down and touched her bee on the ground. Like I am now, I'm going to s. Frigg painted a moon and a sun on her eyes. Phoenix stopped and looked to her. She painted two symbols on her arms. I know she will help me, she always helped skulls. Frigg opened her eyes and then closed them, screaming. Come. Skuld. She screeched. Phoenix's eyes opened wide. Frigg's head lowered and her hair covered her face. Silence. Phoenix continued looking to her, until he noticed something. A sweet fragrance filled the air. It was so sweet that made Phoenix feel calmer. Frigg got up and opened her eyes, looking to the Uchiha. The man noticed her eyes. That name, Skuld, Phoenix remembered. The sealed angel, Skuld passed through him, ignoring him completely and kneeled down near Minato. Phoenix looked behind. She laid down the Hokage's head on her lap. She smiled and caressed his head. Don't worry, Skuld said. The Uchiha noticed her voice was different, such as her look. I'm going to look over you. In case you haven't noticed, I'm still here. Phoenix said and took out a kunai. And I'm going to K Minato. The Uchiha threw the kunai, but Skull stopped it with her finger, without even looking. She turned back to him. Phoenix continued looking to her. He smiled. It is said that you can see the future. So, my immortality. Uchiha, again. Skull said and sighed as if she was tired. You really don't give up. First Madara and now, you. Phoenix eyes opened wide. You knew Uchiha Madara? He asked. Skull started caressing Minato's face. I know everybody who ever stepped on this world. Skull said. Once, more than 100 years ago, I foresaw that a man from Susanoo's lineage would meet one from Kurogen's and K him. Phoenix continued hearing. Since I left the heavens, no god but the great god was able to see the future. As forward, only I could change the it and save the Kurogen's heir who was yet to be born. Yet to be born? Phoenix asked. Skull continued looking to Minato, caressing his face. So, I took over the body of my medium and talked to the great god. He fulfilled my request and for the first time in Kurogen's lineage, a girl was born. Skull said. Phoenix knit his brows. But that haven't changed a thing. Madara found out while battling Uzumaki that she was a Kurogen's heir. Phoenix laughed quietly. Your efforts were good for nothing. Skull smiled and looked to Phoenix. My intention never was avoiding Madara to find out. Skull said. Phoenix continued looking to her. Being Uzumaki a girl, none would believe she was a Kurogen's heir. After all, she came from a long line of males. I knew the consequences. No she-dragon would obey or respect her. But she continued being protected. Skull looked to the chamber's door. Phoenix looked too. The Nakamura clan. The ones Goldrake asked to look over his family. They were more than 100 when Uzumaki requested Konoha to accept her. And in that moment, the reason why I asked for her to be a woman started to make sense. Skull looked again to Minato. If she was a male, she would be received at the same, but her secret would have been discovered very quickly, but, being a girl, allowed two things. Madara needed 5 years to finally make his move and Skull looked back to Phoenix. The one who gave her this cherry tree's garden came to rescue her when Madara came to K her. Shodai Hokage-sama. Phoenix realized. But, it was Madara who took out Uzumaki's child and her bodyguard out of the castle. Yeah, but before that, they fought. Skull said. The thing your grandfather and Shodai described it wasn't demon, it was quite the opposite. Phoenix continued hearing. Being Uzumaki a girl, made her able to do something only Kurogen and Goldrake could claim too. She was acknowledged by the strongest dragon. The one who could give immortality. The male dragon. But, the monster was destroying everything. Phoenix said, remembering what his grandfather had reported. Uzumaki summoned the white and golden dragon and used it to fight Madara. Although, she's in process, but Madara didn't get her B, thanks to Shodai's timing. Skull said. Phoenix smiled. I'm not going to commit the same mistake, Angel. Phoenix screamed. I'm going to be immortal. I'm Madara. Skull looked to him. Madara, she continued staring at him. I see, you were born in the day Madara so, you think you are his reincarnation. I'm able to control Madara's phoenixes, while no other Uchiha can. I'm going to become immortal. The Uchiha affirmed. Skull closed her eyes and smiled. Both things you said are incorrect. Skull said. I'm able to change the future. Even today, I've changed it several times. Every time I said Minato where the explosive tags were, it was not because I knew where they were, it was because I foresaw them exploding every time Minato touched one. Skull smiled. But if you really want the proof that both things you said were incorrect, I can give it to you. Skull closed her eyes. I agree with you, Madara will reborn, but on my lineage. Ah, Phoenix laughed. Madara would never choose another line to be born but his. I never said it wasn't going to be his. Skull completed. Phoenix realized what she just said. And you will be K by his own hands. Skull opened her eyes. Kami. Baldur's dream technique. Phoenix saw himself in what appeared to be a destroyed Konoha. In front of him was a 20-years-old man. The Uchiha found him very looking alike his sister. The man had his arms filled with runes and also had Sharingan. By what Phoenix could understand from the situation, the man was protecting another one that appeared to be his age. That one had blonde spiky hair and it was holding a young child on his arms. Phoenix could also hear the wings of one of his birds. You are the one who is not worthy wearing the Uchiha name. A childish voice said. Phoenix felt someone's hands on his face and the face of a child appeared turned upside down in front of his eyes. The child also had Sharingan. I claim your birds as mine, such as your eye. Phoenix felt a huge pain and opened his eye back into the present. He fell on the ground, looking to Skuld. Those who know the future are the ones who can change it. Remember that, Phoenix, Skuld said. He appeared to continue being under stress after seeing his death. Skuld turned back to Minato and sat him, leaning the young man against the wall. That useless Uchiha, he needed more than 7 Mangekyo Sharingan to put you unconscious. Skuld sat on Minato's lap. Don't worry. Now you and I, Skuld smiled, putting her hands under Minato's shirt. We will finally be one. Skuld looked deeply into Minato's eyes. Phoenix felt something strange. What's this? I feel my body freezing as if, time. The smell of the sea was filling the area. There was a soft and warm breeze on the air. Minato opened his eyes and saw a landscape that appeared to have been taken from the heavens. He sat down. He was on a bed with white sheets and had some white transparent curtains covering it, flying with the wind. Where am I? Minato noticed his clothes changed. Have I s? Far from that, a female voice said. Minato looked aside and saw a pink-skinned woman with a big and curly blonde hair. She had entrancing blue eyes and was wearing a tiara on her hair. Her dress was white as snow and it resembled a rose on the bottom. Minato looked to the girl. Who is her? She seems to be young, 18 at the most. The Hokage continued looking to her until he noticed something. This smell. Yes, it's me, Skuld, she said, opening her butterfly wings. Minato continued looking to her. Angel was really the only word he could find to describe her. Finally, we meet on person, Minato. Meet. Were you the one who took me here? Minato asked. She hugged him, rubbing her face on his. Minato felt her body over his. You have guessed again. Yes, it was me. I can stop time and teleport my body and another everywhere I want to. Skuld said and kissed Minato's cheek. The man blushed. I took you here, so we can love each other. What? Minato was caught by surprise. Skuld sat above him, putting her hands under shirt. Minato blushed even more. What do you mean by that? Skuld continued caressing Minato's body, rubbing her body on his. Stop it. Minato was trying to push her away, but she continued kissing his body. Skuld interlaced her fingers with Minato and looked him in the eyes. I'm a first sphere angel. I'm Skuld, the great god's will. She said. Minato looked into her 5-pupil eye. I want to be loved by you. She started untying Minato's trousers. He felt nervous and blushed the much he could. Give me a child. Free me from the chains that made me suffer during this last 6 centuries. Why me? Aren't you after? Minato trembled and started panting. Skuld closed her eyes and kissed Minato. He continued looking to her. This is not good, Minato thought. Skuld stopped kissing him on the mouth and then started licking his en. I don't want, not with Skuld. Minato remembered the look of her eyes. She really has the eyes of someone who suffered a lot, but that's no reason. I cannot do it for pity. Skuld kissed him again. Minato grabbed her and pushed her. Stop it. Skuld's eyes opened wide. The Hokage realized he was back on the castle. Sitting on his lap was Skuld in Frigg's body. Phoenix looked to him. Minato was conscious again and very tired, thing that he wasn't back on the heavens landscape. Tears appeared on Skuld's eyes. Minato looked to her in the eyes, with his hands on her shoulders. You are not the woman I love. Tears filled the angel's eyes like a rainy storm fills the camps. Sorry. Don't say that, Skuld said, grabbing Minato's shirt and shivering. I don't care if you don't love me. I do love you, Minato. Skuld screamed, crying a lot. Minato closed his eyes. I have her body. She pulled up Frigg's skirt, showing her legs. You can have it. It can be all yours. Minato continued with his eyes closed. See. Touch. It can be all yours. Skuld untied Frigg's shirt. Please. I can make you very happy. I'm an angel. Minato. She was grabbing his clothes very tightly, shivering as if she was freezing. I want to be loved. Only you can do that. Have me. Skuld was crying a lot, desperate to get Minato's attention. The Hokage saw his white coat on the ground and grabbed it. Skuld continued crying. Please, I want to know, please, I'm paining. Minato put his coat around her, covering her body. Skuld looked to him. Please don't do that again. Minato calmly said. Skuld's eyes opened wide. What you're doing is depressing. You're making yourself lose value and you will feel much worse in the end. Skuld remembered those words. The same words, she thought. The same words you said to me over and over again, Kurogen. Skuld lowered her head. You're a wonderful woman. I'm sure your one and only will be a lucky man. But that one is not me. Don't offer yourself like that again. Minato said with care, raising her head with his hand. You're far more than that. You can only be loved by someone who only loves you. Being with someone who doesn't, it will only make you suffer more and more and you will end up hating yourself. But, Skuld cried, none ever came for me. She cleaned her tears, hiccuping a lot. I'm lonely, I want to be loved. I want to, every second of my life, I pain. When will it be the day? When will it be the day that I will be free from these chains? I'm still waiting, Minato smiled to her. I'm sure the gods are doing their best to free you. Minato said and then noticed Phoenix's presence. The Hokage sent him an angry look. Phoenix smiled and tried to get up, but due to the battle they had before, his body was hurting a lot and he was injured everywhere. Minato too. He was trying to get up, but his body was suffering the effects of Mangekyo Sharingan. Skuld noticed. Please, I'll finish him for you. Skuld said. Minato put his hand on her shoulder. Finish someone, only when you're doing that for yourself. Minato said and tried to get up. Skuld got up and helped him. Phoenix also got up, coughing some B. You got out of my genjutsu, Phoenix said, trying to get back his breath. Don't worry, I'm definitely going to KO you. They heard the noise of glass breaking. What was that? Minato asked. Skuld was about to foresee, but Phoenix used a Kaiten. Skuld got with the flames, but used her chakra to repel it. The angel smiled. You're going to need more than that, Uchiha. Skuld said, but she felt a huge pain. The V on her eyes and arms that Frigg used to summon her had disappeared with the flames. Frigg's eyes got back to normal and she was about to faint, but Minato grabbed her. Kushina, Kushina, what's wrong? Minato called. He had no strength left on his arms, letting Frigg fall on the ground. He looked angry to Phoenix. You're next, Phoenix said, but he was interrupted. A sword came out from the chamber next to them and held the ground. The Uchiha recognized the sword. Minato noticed the blue dragon hilt. The doors opened and Kageru appeared. The Hokage first smiled when he saw her, but then he noticed her face. It was all scared and B. Phoenix looked to her, worried. I told you to stay there. Phoenix screamed. Why have you done that? I never intend to KO you. Kageru opened her eyes and looked to him and then to Minato. She smiled. I knew you would survive. Kageru said. Minato looked to her. She took some B from her face and used it. Kuchio's no jutsu. A beautiful winged brown unicorn appeared. Kageru caressed it. Take Fullerheim to the garden. The unicorn grabbed Frigg, put her on its back and flew away, breaking the window from the wall. Kageru looked to Phoenix. She closed her eyes and two angel pink wings appeared on her back. Phoenix and Minato were caught by surprise. She opened her pink eyes and stared Phoenix. You will never be immortal. Phoenix groaned. Kageru walked to Minato. The Hokage looked to her. She hugged him. Minato blushed. My family, the Nakamura clan. Kageru remembered the family she lost 23 years ago. We promised to protect the Koryu until the very end. My grandfather told me that. She remembered her childhood. She was on the castle and an old man dressing a black mantle was staring into a grave. Grandpa Shiga, you visited Uzumaki Heim's grave every day. You told me to believe in the Koryu family and that protecting them, I would find a happiness I could never find anywhere else, that the Koryu had a lucky star looking over them. It was all true. Even when they took Obito away from me, I was able to see him thanks to Minato-sama. Even when I lost my family, I was able to find one with Minato-sama. I will fulfill my oath with the Koryu. Kageru looked to Minato and smiled again. Yondaime, without knowing why, felt sad. Live without any regrets and become the hero you promised yourself to be. Make me proud. Make our family proud. Make Konoha praise you as its god. Kajuru punched Minato's belly. The Hokage wasn't expecting that coming from her, so he didn't defend it. Minato was so tired that he fainted. Phoenix smiled. I couldn't thank you more. The Uchiha ran to her, but Kajuru threw Minato through the window. Phoenix was running so quickly that he also couldn't stop and ended up falling. The two were falling at great speed. Phoenix looked to Minato and smiled. One way or the other, I'm going to KO you. Your B will fill the ground, and I'll be above you when it splash all over the place. Phoenix thought. Minato continued unconscious, falling. Kajuru looked to them and jumped too. She quickly passed by Phoenix and caught Minato, hugging him. Ninpu. Poison bee technique, she said and bit Minato's N, sucking some bee and then left him. The woman planed and waited for Phoenix, hugging him. The Uchiha looked to her. She smiled and K him. Phoenix was caught by surprise. Kajuru continued K him, letting Minato's bee enter Phoenix's mouth. The Nakamura was making hand seals while K Phoenix. She stopped K him and rubbed her face on his. I love you, Phoenix. The Uchiha's eyes opened wide. Fuan Jutsu. Sealed bee. Poison bee technique completed. Kajuru's wings disappeared. A huge bright circle appeared on the sky, filled with the kanji from the jutsu's name. Phoenix felt a huge pain on his body. All his veins were shining and burning. Minato hit the ground violently, causing a dust cloud. Phoenix noticed he was going to crash too and bit his thumb. Kuchio's no jutsu. He screamed and one of his phoenixes caught him. The Uchiha grabbed Kajuru's hand and the two landed safely. Phoenix held Kajuru on his arms. What have you done? Speak. Kajuru smiled slowly. Phoenix laid her on the ground and went near Minato, staggering a lot. The Uchiha looked to him. Minato's skin was black and rough as iron. The Hokage's breath was visible and he appeared to be shivering with cold. Phoenix kneeled down near him and took some of the bee Minato had on his mouth. In the moment Phoenix touched the bee, it started to corrode his skin, burning it. What's this? Phoenix's eyes opened wide and he looked to Kajuru. He got up and went back to her. The Uchiha was very pissed and breathing with anxious. You, he said and grabbed Kajuru's hair, turning her face to his. What have you done? My bee, the Nakamura's bee has a special enzyme that when stimulated with chakra, can turn any bee into poison. Kajuru explained, very tired. I used Minato-sama's bee and yours and recombined them, so Minato-sama's bee could act as a poison when touching your bee, organs or anything with your DNA combination. Phoenix bound his hands, explaining it as if you were a 4-year-old child. You won't be immortal, because the moment you touch Minato-sama's bee, it will certainly destroy you. Kajuru closed her eyes. Phoenix let her and rides his bird. He looked to Kajuru and tears appeared on his eyes. The phoenix opened its wings and flew away. Kajuru, Phoenix thought, if you needed your bee to recombine ours, then, yours no longer has any enzyme. That means, Phoenix closed his eyes and fainted on his bird's back. The unicorn Kajuru summoned went near Minato and was pushing him with the head, turning him aside. The animal placed his unicorn near the only place on Minato's body that was not covered with the black iron and used it to warm the man. The black iron pulled back and Minato's body turned into his original colors. The man opened his eyes and looked to the unicorn. What the? Minato said and tried to get up. The unicorn helped him and then went near Kajuru. Minato's eyes opened wide. He tried to run but ended up with his face on the ground. Kajuru, Minato crawled to her and put his hands on her face. Kajuru, look at me, please, Mom. Minato-sama, Kajuru whispered, breathing slowly and lightly. She smiled. I fulfilled my, tears were falling from Minato's eyes. The pain on his versus was unbearable. The woman who raised him was in front of his eyes. The Hokage never felt so useless in his entire life. Don't cry for me, I'm going to a better place. Tears fell from Kajuru's eyes. You were, the son I could never raise, the bee of my family runs in your veins. Minato's eyes opened wide. Your ancestor, Uzumaki Hime, the child she was carrying when she came to Konoha, it was from my grandpa Shiga, Minato-sama. Every moment, I loved every moment I passed with you. Minato continued crying. Don't hesitate like me, she said. If you really love her, fight for her, don't end up crying, like I did. Mom, Minato called. Kajuru smiled to him. My family was the one who abandoned your real mother at her luck in the middle of nowhere. How can you call me, mother? Kajuru asked. Minato looked to her. She is happier and safer wherever she is. We used genjutsu on her, so she doesn't remember you, or your father, or the fire country. Minato hugged Kajuru. You will be a hero. I'm so proud of the little boy I rescued years ago. So, Minato's eyes opened wide. Kajuru stopped breathing. Mom. Kajuru. Minato started crying, screaming a lot. Kajuru. Minato's eyes lost the bright and the Hokage fainted. The unicorn looked to them and then ran to the place it left Frigg, trying to wake her. The spring sun rose over Konoha, entering the window of the Hokage's room. Minato opened his eyes slowly. What happened? He asked to himself. He tried to move but he felt a huge pain all over his body. He noticed he had ligatures and curatives everywhere and that his plastered arm was tied to his N. He looked to his arm and remembered his fight with Phoenix and then Kajuru. The Hokage looked down very sad. You have awakened, Frigg said, while entering the room with some more ligatures. Minato looked to her and smiled. She sat on Minato's bed. I was so worried. You've been sleeping for more than 3 days. The man looked down again and leaned his head back on the pillow. I was so worried when I found you be like that. I almost collapsed. Luckily, Unicorn-san carried us back to Konoha. I called Tsunade-sama and she took care of you. Now, she is back into the hospital. I said I would take care of you. She put her hands behind Minato's head and took out the ligatures, exchanging them. The Hokage looked to her. And Kajuru? Minato asked. Frigg looked to him. The man was about to cry. Jiraiya-san buried her in the castle, in the same place of her ancestors. Frigg said. Minato closed his eyes. Frigg put her hand on his face. Yondaime looked to her. The two stared for a long time. Frigg blushed. I have something to tell you, she said, with her body trembling. Minato continued looking at her. Tears appeared on her eyes. Minato continued looking. She grabbed her skirt. I love you. The Hokage's eyes opened wide and he blushed a lot. Frigg hides her mouth behind her hands. I realized that when I saw you fighting. Sorry, if I said something inconvenient. She looked down, with her heart jumping, waiting for an answer. Minato smiled. He made an effort and sat on the bed. Frigg continued with her head down, very shy. Minato's smile was so pretty, anyone could see his happiness on it. Frigg, Minato said. She was caught by surprise and looked to him. The man moved his arm and pulled her to him. They were face to face. Their hearts were beating in unison and they closed their eyes. The lips touched and they kissed passionfully. Minato hugged her and Frigg hugged him. They caressed each other's body and kissed for an eternity. The two were so happy, blushed and in love. In the end, they gazed each other again. I also love you. Frigg smiled. I've been in love with you for more than 2 years, but I decided not to tell you. I didn't want to spoil our friendship. You learned how to pronounce my name. I'm so happy, Frigg said, cleaning her tears. Minato continued looking to her with a smile on his lips. Sorry for being so dumb and let's not speak about the past. Minato said and blushed. Frigg blushed too. They appeared to be nervous. Frigg, Minato hugged her again and pulled her to the bed, laying her near him. The woman blushed even more. I'm so in love with you, Frigg. Minato, you're hurting, your arm, do you think? Frigg asked. Minato lay above her, covering their bee with the blankets. Minato smiled and rubbed his nose on hers. I've waited 2 years for this moment. Do you think I would let a plastered arm get in my way? Minato played. Frigg quietly laughed. Minato. She hugged him, while he took her wig off. Minato kissed her again, unbuttoned her chemise. They caressed each other's body and exchanged caresses. Minato, Frigg thought. You. Feeling your body over mine, your mouth kissed me. I never felt so loved before, so alive. You're making me go to the stars. I desire you more than anything. You are the one I want to be with. Just you. It will be perfect if we could be like this forever. You and I, like one only soul. Together. Frigg started sweating and hugged Minato even tightly and closer to her. This feeling, Minato thought. I'm so happy. I'm with the one I really love, so it is like this, so this is the feeling. Minato kissed Frigg again. I'm sure. You're my one and only. Be mine forever, Frigg. I will make you happier every day. Your smile can wash any pain away. I want to be one with you. Forever. I'll fight for you. I'm so in love. Love. Minato's mind emptied his thoughts, so only the love he had towards Frigg could control him. The same was happening with the woman. It seemed the rest of the world had disappeared. There were only they and the love they were sharing and tenderly showing to each other. The love that made them feel like gods and wish for more. The love that would open the gates of happiness and pain. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.